This is what I need in the front entrance of my house. Be great for Halloween. Once again, we're at our storage and test facility. Let's open the door and see what we're driving today. Looks like we've got ourselves a 2021 Kia Sorento. This is the upgraded X line, which of course means it costs more money. In fact, let's take a look at the price on my computer. We'll pull it up on the screen and show you how much this baby costs. The base price of a Kia Sorento is $29,000. This was the X line all-wheel drive, which is loaded up with just about everything as standard equipment. So we're starting just over $42,000. As you can see, a lot of stuff is included here. That's the good news. But here's the ridiculous part. You spent all this money and they're actually charging you an extra $210 for carpeted floor mats in the front and another $115 for carpeted floors in the back. I mean, come on, guys. Why do they do this? There shouldn't be any options here, especially pay extra for a floor. Come on. Not just Kia, other manufacturers do this too. In any case, this is the total tab, $44,285. A big jump from the $29,000 to get on the base vehicle. And for those of you who only want to buy American products, well, here's where it's made, for the most part. For comparison, here's the Kia Telluride, top of the line in their fleet. I tested one of these. And this one was fully loaded with a $46,860 price tag. So if we go back to the price tag of the Kia Seltos X-Line all-wheel drive, that's a difference of $2,757. Not much. Some onlookers have commented that the Sorento X-Line has a close resemblance to the Kia Telluride, but slightly shrunken. Well, maybe so, but they didn't shrink the price by much, did they? That's a lot of dough. So let's see what we're getting for our money. For $45,000, I was hoping to get a spare tire, but it's not going to be back here because we have third row seats taking up the room. Well, let's see. We do get a jack. Well, there is a spare tire underneath. Get it flat, you'll have to crawl on the ground like I am. But at least we do get a spare tire, so that's good. Triple bulb headlights on each side. Let's take these out in the dark and see how they perform, as we do in all my videos. It's dark enough, let's take these Kia headlights out and see what they do. And here we have the low beams when they well 100 feet away. Very, very bright, but very, very low. I prefer something a bit higher. Let's see what happens on high beam. Very bright. And here's what the rear view camera looks like in the dark. The quality is far better in person than what you're seeing on my cheap camera. Actually, the clarity is pretty decent. And here we have the brights on a fence line 80 yards away, and the building behind 130 yards away. Good widespread, lights up everything, go to low beam. Barely makes it to the fence. Low beams are okay for city use, but for backcountry roads, you'll need the high beams. The base engine is a 2.5 liter, putting out 191 horsepower. This is the deluxe motor, 2.5 liter turbo, putting out 281 horsepower, hooked to an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. Claim fuel economy is 21 mpg in the city, 28 on the highway, and 24 overall. We'll be taking this out in the real world to see if that's true. And according to the spec sheet, there's a 1.6 liter hybrid available, but I don't know much about that, haven't had a chance to look it up. This is a nice looking cabin, and since it is the deluxe model, we have some excellent leather, high grade stuff here. If you want to shift gears manually, you have paddle shifters on the steering wheel, where they belong, not on the steering column like some European manufacturers do. A large info screen and an excellent camera system. A drive mode control, comfort, sport, smart, eco, snow, and a locking differential for off-roading. A decent sized glove box. If you take the owner's book out, put it in the storage container by the spare tire, you'll definitely have more room. The gauge cluster is well designed, but there's a bit more glare than I would like, mainly because of a lot of shiny plastic here and elsewhere in the vehicle. And it does tell you what mode you're driving in. Gives you a little light show in the process. This is more impressive in the dark. There are a few things I don't like. This fake wood, for example. Come on, what is this, 1970? Fake wood, come on. I think that's fake. Looks fake. Here's one of my biggest gripes. If you're looking for a plug-in for your 12-volt power cord, you would expect it to be up front. 99% of them usually are in any vehicle. Not here. Instead, they put the main power outlet by the second row seats back here. Okay, problem is, about 90% of the cords you're going to use are too short to reach in front. If you get an extension cord, yeah, you got a big mess if you do that. Why would you put the main outlet in the second row seats instead of the front seats? I don't get it. And behind the third row seats, we get a second power outlet. So the bottom line, you get a power outlet by the third row seats, a power outlet by the second row seats, but no power plug-in in the front seats where you need it the most. Doesn't make any sense to me. And I've noticed not only is this in the Kia Sorento, but it seems to be a trait in a lot of other Korean cars too. And by the way, I did look in the owner's manual to see if there was a plug-in up front, and it makes it quite clear, only in second and third row seating. So no point looking for something that's not there. Not a deal killer, just kind of odd. I guess I'll use my extension cord. That's why I've got one right here. And one of the dumbest features I've ever seen on a vehicle, sorry Kia, I've got to say this, a soothing sound system. Gives you lively forest, rainy day, calm sea waves. Right now we're on rainy day. Let's go lively forest. Sea waves, warm fireplace. Why do we have this in a car? Or truck or SUV or anything that has four wheels? I don't get it. The calm sea waves is my favorite. It sounds like the radiator just busted and flooding out the engine compartment. I do like the door design. It comes all the way down here, which means all the rocker panels stay pretty much clean, so you don't get dirt on your pants or mud or anything else that might splash up. There is one disadvantage with this door design. Pay attention if you own one of these vehicles. Right here. Very, very sharp point. If your leg gets in the way when you're opening or closing the door, it is going to hurt. I know I did it once. I won't make that mistake a second time. Kia, you need to do something about this. And the way it sticks out, it's not that hard. I'm also driving a Buick this week. It has the same basic door design, but notice how it's rounded off. No sharp edges. This is the way it really should be on all these type of doors, on these type of vehicles. Alright, first half of the video show and tell is over. Second half, we're going to go out and do some driving. And on the deluxe model, you get the larger 20-inch wheels. Look good, but I'm told it provides a pretty stiff ride. I guess we'll find out soon enough. In the comfort mode, the power steering is way too light and has no feel. If you put it in the sport mode, it stiffens things up a bit. But for the soccer moms who are always backing into spaces at the grocery store, I don't think they're going to care either way. As we do in all my videos, we're going to take some speed humps around 20 miles per hour. See how the suspension performs on impact. And here comes hump number 1. I felt that one. These are pretty big tires and wheels. Number 2. Let's slow down to 15 miles per hour. That's a little better. Now we got the nasty bump. The suspension is well designed, does a pretty good job absorbing impacts with these big tires and wheels. Well, you're going to hear some thumping. That's all there is to it. The outside mirrors have a camera inserted. So you turn on the left turn signal. You see traffic on your left. Turn on your right turn signal. You see traffic on the right. And I'm doing this sitting still because it's not safe to do this when you're driving, and I drive safely. Always. I was going to show you a 0 to 60 run, but the digital screen just doesn't show up on a camera. In bright daylight, it washes out, and in the dark, it glares out. I can see it in person, but on a camera, it just doesn't want to work. So let's do a 0 to 60 run without looking at the speedometer. A little slow off the line, but once it picks up, moves up pretty good. Nice brakes. Thing's got a lot of pep once it revs up. Takes around 2,000 RPM for it to come alive. That brings us to the fuel economy. I'm getting 18.1 in heavy city driving, but have been pushing the gas pedal down quite a bit. In normal driving, probably 19 to 20 is more likely. And in the past 1,434.9 miles, this vehicle's averaged 21.1 mpg. About what I would expect. We're going to take a highway trip of approximately 100 miles, see what type of fuel economy readings we can get. The Sorento is a comfortable highway cruiser for the most part, but there's an awful lot of wind noise around these outside mirrors, making its way into the cabin. Nothing serious, but very noticeable. If you're in the habit of passing a lot of slowpokes on the freeway, you'll appreciate the turbo power of this engine. It really comes alive on the freeway when you have the RPMs up. In all fairness, I was getting 25 plus to the gallon with the cruise control set at 75 miles per hour, but a lot of slowpokes on the road today, and I decided to pass them all because I'm in a hurry, and here's the MPG I got as a result, 22.4. I've got another highway trip to take. Let's reset to 0 and keep the speed down and see if we can bump up the figures. Another trip coming to an end. Let's see what our MPG turned out to be. Well, 24.3 MPG. I think that's the best we're going to get out of this. Nice view. Nice vehicle. So let's go play in the dirt and get this vehicle dirty. This SUV was intended to be taken off-road, so that's exactly what we're going to do. If you hear a bunch of rattling, it's not the vehicle. I have a bunch of chairs in the back, metal chairs, so the vehicle's not rattling and falling apart. Very well made, in fact. Very sturdy body. I'm very impressed with the build quality. If you fold down those third row seats, you have a lot of room for gear. So if you're going to use this for camping, you're all set. One thing I like about the Sorento is its narrow width. Allows you to squeeze in narrow trails without scratching up the paint on the side. One definite advantage for sure. Well, this Kia does a pretty good job of absorbing impacts on these rough, nasty dirt trails. That's pretty good off-road. But remember, light-duty SUV, off-roading only. This is basically a car. And Kia is picking up this vehicle tomorrow morning, so we need to get back to town and wrap up this video. So what's my take of this Kia Sorento X after a week of driving? I like the vehicle. I was impressed. The people that looked at it were impressed, and the people that rode in it were impressed. Of course, when I showed them the price tag, they kind of balked. That's a lot of money for a vehicle in this class. I'm not saying it's not worth 45 grand, just that it's a big jump from the high 20s to the mid 40s. The Kia does have the best warranty in the business, and they do have a reputation for discounting. So go down and do your best deal.